Hello.
Hello.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh
no.
dang.
What did
Oh,
you
no.
do?
Sorry. I just turned on the television because... You know, I've realized that every time... I always leave it at this channel.
Oh, the History Channel?
The History Channel.
It's a good channel.
It is. It's kind of like what I look for.
It's got everything that you could ask for in a channel.
Last week, actually... Yeah, well, we recorded 2 episodes in one...
Basically,
in 1 week. So I think it was the first episode. I don't remember when it was, but I had it last time. It was tsunamis.
Oh yes, natural disasters.
And now it is Universe Mysteries Solved by H History.
So this is What's Your Favorite Scary Story?
Welcome.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Alyssa.
And I'm Marlene.
And we just talk about nonsense here, pretty much.
Yeah, that's like the fun part. You know, everybody loves nonsense. Except when you're... I don't think everybody loves nonsense, actually. No.
I think it depends on the kind of nonsense we're talking about.
Yeah, kind of like fucking around nonsense, but not when it's just like annoying, not proactive nonsense. Then that's
right.
That's when it's not great. Anyway, sorry. I don't know.
Any fun updates?
Any fun updates? No. Binks is looking cute on that box there.
As he does.
That's what I was gonna check really quickly, and then I didn't say anything, and then we got started.
Well, that's how it goes.
The Conjuring movie's still on for the end of the year.
Oh yeah, isn't it like September?
I believe it's September.
That's not even the end of the year. That's like beginning of fall spooky time. That's perfect.
Yeah. Jacqueline Nunez is still crazy online, somehow avoiding the law and getting away with it.
I mean, she's not the only one.
Yeah. Let's see. Nothing new on the Conjuring house yet.
Mm-hmm. What about Aaron's wife / ex-wife?
Well, with that story, we learned, thanks to you, that Zach Bagans.
Oh yeah.
That's
crazy.
Has already.
He's like put up some kind of video in his museum in Vegas, essentially like blaming himself for Aaron's wife putting a hit on him because he said, I touched the Dybbuk box, and like a week later we found out. So
that there was a hit on him by his own wife. Like basically throughout the Zach Bagans like haunted museum, there's TVs talking about like some of the artifacts, and like sometimes they play like a little video before you enter a room to kind of give you like the I guess like to preface what you're getting into,
the lowdown on it.
Yeah, and so I guess apparently one of those videos now of the, I'm assuming it's the Dybbuk box.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Because they put you, like they scram you into this small room before they open up the double doors to the Dybbuk box, and I'm assuming it probably shows in that room now before it.
Probably. That would make sense to me.
Which is crazy because, just very quickly, when we went, and I still explain this like as if it was a freaking movie, because those double doors opened up in front of me, like everyone literally was pushed to the side, and I was literally like down the little hallway.
Okay.
So like when they opened up the double doors to the Dybbuk box, it just felt like a movie moment where like I saw the Dybbuk box and then it was staring back at me, and then like the wall, it was like when freaking Moses parted the Dead Sea.
God.
Like literally like the Dead Sea was you guys, like the people there, the group, and then it was just like the open.
Is it the Dead Sea or the Red Sea?
Is it the Red? It's the Red Sea, no?
Yeah. Okay, you said dead.
Oh,
I just wanted to like cover our asses before people came for us.
And yeah, when he parted the
Red Sea.
Dead Sea?
I think we should double check, but I think it's the Red Sea. It's the Red Sea.
Okay.
So I thought. We're good. Everything's fine.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's how I saw the Dybbuk box, and it was kind of like a terrifying video at first, and now I feel like it's kind of like, okay,
Yeah,
kind
just
of
making everything about himself.
Yeah, I believe the Post Malone story more than
oh yeah, 100%.
This one,
because it happened to him.
Right.
Like, why would it? I know Aaron like gets shit on pretty hard on Ghost Adventures, but why like is Zach touching the Dybbuk box gonna like then make that like clearly like his wife had been planning this for a while,
right?
You know, that's just when they found out.
I think Zach Bagans is just the kind of guy that's just gonna make everything about himself, and just then be like, yeah, that happened to him, but like me,
it's because I did this,
yeah, kind of shit, and it's
annoying.
Anyway, but I do have a fun fact today.
I sure hope you do.
I sure fucking hope you do.
Okay, let's hear it.
Not so fun facts with marbles. Is it your time for ASMR? With your...
I didn't know we were gonna show that part. I just am trying to have a Twix, you guys, okay?
Hey, I respect it. I would have one too, but I don't want one.
Like Phoebe from Friends. They're like, oh, Phoebe, do you want to come help us? And she's like, oh, I would, but I don't want to. That's definitely your vibe.
I say things like that because it's freaking funny. You know?
It is. That's why
funny.
we laugh.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your fact?
Okay, so today's fact is about death. And not just any death, but a state-approved death. Have you ever heard of a state-approved death?
Like where the person dying is also in on it?
Yeah, basically.
So like an assisted suicide?
Yeah, what should we call it so we won't actually say it?
An assisted bye-bye Earth.
An assisted bye-bye Earth. And all who inhabit it. Yeah, basically. So, assisted, I guess, in the sense where this government, provides the thing, I guess, that helps you go bye-bye.
Okay.
So in ancient Athens, bye-bye was usually considered a crime unless, of course, the government gave you permission.
Isn't it like a crime here now?
To go bye-bye?
Technically, like if it fails, like I don't know where or when I heard that.
I've never heard of that.
I feel like maybe it was like a myth someone told me. I don't know. I could have sworn it was technically like against the law.
I don't believe that. That's such a weird law.
That is weird.
Yeah. No,
okay,
I don't think that's true.
Disregard everything I ever said.
So around the 4th and 5th centuries BC, Athenians, is that how you... Athenians had this like weird system where someone could petition the state the right to bye-bye. So if your reasons were deemed valid, like terminal illness or unbearable disgrace, the city might allow it.
Wow.
And they'd give you hemlock, which is a slow, paralyzing poison.
Okay.
But if you went on by bye-byes without the state's blessing, you were seen as a criminal, and your burial rights would be denied. And in some cases, your hands would be cut off and buried separately as punishment.
Damn.
So,
I mean, that's like in like the church, isn't it? Like if you do that, then you don't get like a proper burial, or at least like in the past kind of thing.
Yeah, and you just wouldn't. You still to this day, supposedly, you don't go to heaven.
Oh yeah.
But I guess you can call it like a civilized democracy for back in the day.
Okay.
Ancient Athens, but only if you asked nicely.
Right. Please,
can I do this? Please. I've been wanting this my whole life.
I won't ask you for anything else.
I just want this one thing. So while I was reading about this, I learned about Socrates and
Socrates. She just melted into the couch.
Nothing's more embarrassing. I was holding on to my liquid courage here, but I think I'm just gonna drink it right now because
I think you need it.
That was very fucking embarrassing.
I'm like, I think you know more about Socrates than I do.
To be fair, I also like pronounce things differently.
You do. I just am making sure I know what you're talking about.
Socrates.
Socrates,
duh.
Socrates, that's how the cool kids pronounce it.
Yeah, who the fuck pronounces it Socrates?
Not you.
Fuck? Clearly. Quit being a lame. It's Socrates.
Okay.
That's me.
There's Bigfoot on the TV right now. How did we get here? We were just like in space.
I think that's what they're showing is that like there's like an alien.
Oh, it's a mystery. That's right. It's mysteries solved. So they've solved it. We found Bigfoot, you guys.
The outside looks like sunset rain.
I bet it's pretty.
Okay. Oh my god. I'm just not.
She pulled her headphones out.
I'm not having that. It's not the time of my life right now.
She's struggling, if you will.
Socrates.
Anyway,
Socrates, and he was sentenced to death by the Athenian.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that is up for debate. Athenian, could be either one.
Athenian, is that how you pronounce it?
Athenian would be how I would pronounce it. I don't really say that word very often.
So in 399 BC, he was sentenced to death by the Athenian court, and you might wonder why, because we all know him as this, very progressive philosopher, and so rightfully so, he was charged with corrupting the youth and impiety. Excuse me. So basically, getting people to think too much and question too often, which is so funny because I thought of you. And when like you're constantly asking questions and you're just like trying to understand, that's exactly what he was always doing.
That's why I know how to say his name. We get each other.
Yeah, Socrates. So Socrates was known for his relentless questioning and authority, religion, morality, and tradition. So he believed that the unexamined life just wasn't worth living, and that made people very uncomfortable. So at his trial, when he was proposed his own punishment, when asked to propose his own punishment, he sarcastically suggested that it should be, that he should be rewarded with free meals for life. But the jury didn't appreciate the joke. So Socrates was sentenced to drink hemlock, and which is the same poison they provided to go bye-bye if it was approved.
Got it.
So instead of fleeing, which some of his friends like told him you should fucking do that, just dip out. Right. He just accepted his sentence and saying that it would be unjust to break the laws of the city he lived his whole life in, which is also kind of like, if you think about it, kind of contradictory to like you'd think that he, it's as progressive as of a thinker he was, like you'd think that he'd want to dip, but he also had that like loyalty to
he was taking like the high road and whatnot, being the bigger man.
So his student Plato, he was devastated, so he would go on to preserve Socrates' teachings and found the academy in Athens, which became the first institution of higher learning in the Western world. Wow. So through Plato's writings, Socrates' death became a philosophical turning point, and his calm, basically like his acceptance of death. It was just like a haunting, but also like heroic thing for like Plato to share, and which is I've also thought it was. I've always thought that it was like very interesting how like Socrates never actually wrote anything down. Like like all of Socrates's like teachings.
It's like word of mouth.
It was
kind of thing.
yeah, and Plato just shared it with his
That's cool.
students, kind of thing. Yeah, and it was just like that devotion that Plato had to Socrates, and just that friendship and that loyalty. Like it's just really cool. But
it's cool that there was like people like were like that all the way back then.
Yeah,
you know, they were like actual legit people with feelings and emotions and like
and real thoughts
and compassion, and
yeah,
that's cool.
Because like I feel like that time is also very much like romanticized by a lot of people nowadays, or just in general. You know, I'm sure 1,000 years ago it was also romanticized, like that time in ancient Athens and stuff. But I feel like it's like 2,000 years from now, it's probably going to be the same thing with like early technology. And wow, I can't believe they didn't have this floating house. Who doesn't have a floating house, bro? What do you mean that your house doesn't talk to you and to clean itself?
It doesn't just suck things into the floor like smart house? The heck?
I can't believe people actually would use a mop.
What's a mop?
Like, why would it, like, they just a big thing with a big brush to wipe up dirt, you know, and scoop things up by hand and eat with their hands? Who even finds time to eat with their hands nowadays?
That's what we invented the pill for.
Like, come on, dude.
Anyway.
You know? And it's still using televisions instead of just closing your eyes and just visualizing it and the chip in our brain. Just like, who's using their brain? Just use the chip.
When she goes on these hypotheticals, it's hard to stop her.
Yeah.
I do apologize.
Yeah, the little liquid courage didn't really help.
It's still working.
But yeah, I mean, let me just finish up my thing. Yeah, so the not so fun fact was that in ancient Athens, bye-bye was a crime unless the government approved it. And one of the greatest thinkers, Socrates himself, died at the hands of the system that both feared and revered him with the same poison.
Yeah.
So I learned about the poison, and then I learned about
That's cool.
Socrates.
And sad. And tragic.
Very tragic.
Beautifully tragic.
Yeah, so it also makes you wonder, like, do you think Plato was ever like, oh yeah, but I came up with this all by myself? Because, like...
Well, he seems to, like, really, like, pay homage to Socrates, doesn't he?
Right, so how much of his teachings are actually his own teachings?
Good question.
Because he also talks about love, and, like, the book that I have that I bought in Franklin, that, like, $100 one that I bought, like, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, that one's about love and friendships, you know? And, like, so how much of that is really... originally Plato's?
So it's a good question, but it's like one I sadly don't think we're ever gonna get the answer to. It's a very, very, very long time ago.
I mean, I guess you can say the same thing about the Bible if you believe in the Bible, because like most of it is, and no one correct me if I'm wrong, most of it is like prophetic. That's a word, right? Prophetic.
Yeah.
Prophetic, Jesus teachings kind of thing. Like, oh, I met Jesus and this is my story with him kind of thing, you know?
But it's been added to, like, many, many, many years.
I mean, there's a New Testament.
After Jesus, so.
The New Testament is, like, testament to that. Like, I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure Stephen King's books were also, like, revisioned and stuff, you know?
Did I not just tell you that Binks does still carry his toys around in his mouth too?
He's
just
so
like
fucking
Arlo.
cute.
Binks is coming up the stairs. Binks is staring me down. He brought his like toy almost all the way up the stairs in his little mouth, and he's like, "Hello, I'd like some attention, please." The heck?
He's like, "Excuse me."
We're busy, Binks. We got a job to do. I'm sorry. But yeah, no. It could be just a whole big beautiful mix of everyone's thoughts and we're just going to have to accept that, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. I accept all the books.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah. Fuck it. If I could read the Quran, I would read the Quran, but I don't speak Arabic.
You don't, and that's okay.
Except I know how to say Aljo. Fuck.
It's okay. That's more than I know how to say.
Okay. That just means today.
Nice.
Something
Why is that
like
the word you learned?
Well, I was trying to learn how to say today. The weather today is nice.
Oh.
Because it's a long story. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my fun fact of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Very good job. Very interesting. Very fun and not so fun. That's what we look for in a not so fun fact.
Also, just to clarify, I also do love languages, all sorts of linguistics.
You do.
And Alyssa knows this. And anyway, yeah, I just didn't want to leave it half open.
Okay.
That part. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, I'm pretty sure I saw the Progressive commercial with that lady.
Flo?
Okay. Isn't Flo from, where is she from?
The Progressive commercial.
Is Flo progressive?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I can double check for you, but I'm pretty positive. Yeah. That's your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for my story now.
Okay. Yo, brunettes all the way, dude.
Says her after she convinced me to dye my hair blonde again.
Hey, no, yeah, that was your still personal choice.
Sure.
You still,
Love you.
I didn't convince you to do anything.
I feel like I'm just throwing you under the bus tonight a lot.
Yeah, no, I wasn't I wasn't holding a gun to your head.
You weren't.
You
weren't.
You went in and you said the words to your hairdresser. I met you as a brunette.
You did, and you still loved me.
Yeah,
It's all okay.
Jesus
Don't worry.
Christ.
I'm not trying to defame. What is it?
I don't know, but the only
no defamation here is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because you did that to yourself.
I did. I hope you like it.
I do like it.
Okay.
I do like it. You just can't go around saying
I know. Okay.
Jesus
I'm so
Christ.
sorry. I love you and all that inhabits you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I love you. Blonde and brunette.
Thanks. All right. So we're just finishing up a candy break, and now it's time for my story.
Yay.
So this week's story was suggested by Raina from New York.
Oh,
all
Raina.
the claps for Raina. Thank you very, very much for your suggestion. Your guys' suggestions are what keep this whole thing going. So seriously, always very appreciated. So if you want to submit an idea like Raina, where can they submit those?
You can send them over to whatsyourfavoritescarystory@gmail.com, or
you can send us a message on Instagram, which is also going to be at whatsyourfavoritescarystory. Claps for everything. It's fine. Okay, so Raina suggested that we cover the case of Maura Murray.
I've never heard of this.
Me neither.
Maura?
Yes. So Maura,
like Maury, but Maura.
Yeah, it's like Maura. So
Murray.
Yes, Maura Murray. Do we
it's
have her?
Murray?
I think it's Murray. That's like how you pronounce that last
Murray?
name. Yeah, like Bill Murray.
Oh, damn. Bill Nye.
The science guy. Okay, so Maura was born on May 4th, 1982, in Brockton, Massachusetts. She did grow up in Hanson, a small suburb almost half an hour east of there. So she was always an overachiever as a kid, academically and athletically. She was a National Honor Society member, and she participated in almost every sport, excelling especially in basketball and cross country. And Maura ended up graduating at the top of her class at Whitman-Hanson Regional High School. And not only was she extremely talented in multiple ways, she was very active in her local community. She was known for her kind heart, signature dimples, and beautiful smile. So your classic lit up a room, like girl next door vibes.
I was just about to say that, like, it's just, I'll talk about it in the end. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to,
dampen the vibes yet.
Yeah, not yet, because I don't know what the story is. Maybe it's something good.
No, it's not, but we'll get there.
I don't know that.
Okay, so once Maura graduated high school, she obviously had her pick of colleges for both academics and athletics. But when it came time to choose, she decided to accept a congressional nomination from the late Senator Edward Kennedy and follow in her sister Julie's footsteps by attending the United States Military Academy at West Point.
Wow.
Yes, very intense.
Very intense.
So, after 2 years at West Point, Maura realized that the military life was not for her, which I totally respect. I get it.
Yeah.
So she transferred to the University of Massachusetts in Amherst and started to pursue a career in nursing.
That's more like it.
Yeah. I like that better.
Yeah, that is way better.
Okay, so fast forward to February 9th, 2004. I believe Maura has been at the University of Massachusetts for about 2.5 years at this point. So that morning on February 9th, Maura submitted her nursing homework electronically and then emailed all of her professors letting them know that there had been a death in the family and she had to leave campus for the week. Except there was no death in the family.
Oh.
Yeah. After that, she placed a call to the owner of a condominium in Bartlett, New Hampshire, which was a place that was special to Maura, where she had spent some time in the past. Her family had vacationed there. And then she packed a bag with toiletries, makeup, workout attire, school books, and a few days' worth of just everyday clothes. Then at 3:15 p.m., she stopped at an ATM that was off campus and withdrew $280, which was almost all of the money she had in her account. And then she used $40 of that to purchase alcohol from a liquor store. At around 4:30 p.m., she left the Amherst area in her 1996 Saturn and headed north towards New Hampshire. She told no one where she was going or why. At 7:27 p.m., New Hampshire police received a call from Faith Westman, a resident of Haverhill, New Hampshire. She stated that there had been an accident near her home and that there was a car stuck in a ditch.
Damn.
A little bit after that, bus driver Butch Atwood approached the scene that Faith had described and had a chat with Maura. She was in her Saturn there in the ditch.
She just didn't, get out, I guess.
I guess. Or, I think he might have pulled up just a couple minutes after it happened. He offered to help her and to call the police, but she declined and stated that she had already called AAA. So Butch knew that there was no cell service in that area at all. So he drove to his home, which was very close by, and called the police. They asked him if she appeared injured, and he informed them that she seemed shaken up and the airbags had deployed, but there was no blood. Butch placed this call at 7:42 p.m., and the first officer arrived at the scene at 7:46 p.m.
Okay, not too late. That's actually pretty...
That's 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
He found the car as described in the ditch, but Maura was not in it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's not a good story. So they assessed the scene. The car was locked. There was a box of red wine behind the driver's seat. There were stains on the ceiling and one of the doors that were thought to be the wine. And there was a Coke bottle that appeared to have red liquid in it, also assumed to be the wine. There was a handwritten note with a phone number and an address on it, and there was also a rag stuffed into the tailpipe. But that part was later explained as something that Maura's dad had advised her to do so she didn't get ticketed for the excessive smoke coming out. But that's the state of the car when they found it without Maura. So a state trooper also arrived on the scene, as well as firefighters and EMS. EMS was dismissed within minutes since there was no one to treat, and the firefighters helped search around the crash site for a while and then returned to the fire station. The state trooper and Butch Atwood, the bus driver, searched west of the crash site for Maura for signs of her, but came up with nothing. The first thought of the police was that Maura had taken off somewhere and taken her own life, but there is no proof of that. So let's back up and take a look at the few days before Maura disappeared. She had a job at her college campus, and according to her manager, while she was at work a few days earlier, she seemed to be on an upsetting phone call and had to leave early. Sometime after this, Maura got the news that her sister Kathleen, who was struggling with alcohol abuse, had relapsed. Then shortly after that, she crashed her car into a guardrail, which caused thousands of dollars in damage.
Damn.
So this is like a previous accident that happened like right before. Now, this was actually her dad's car. She was having issues with her own car, and I guess her nursing program had a requirement that she had to have reliable transportation, so that's why she was using her dad's car. So according to Maura's sister, Julie, who we're actually going to get most of our information from, their dad was disappointed by the crash, but there was nothing he could do or say that would be worse than what Maura was telling herself. She said she was her own worst critic and never wanted to burden anybody. Her sister Julie also mentioned that Maura's late-night food orders she made were a sign that she was struggling. I guess she had previously struggled with an eating disorder, and Julie said, quote, "That's more of an indication to me that she felt a loss of control. One thing she could feel a sense of control over was her eating disorder, and that night I'm convinced she binged." According to Julie, all of these things combined together probably led Maura to making poor decisions. She said again, quote, "She was making poor decisions leading up to her disappearance. Her behavior was not characteristic of her. For her to get in that car in its broken state and drive all that way to New Hampshire was a bad decision. I don't know what her mindset was and why she would do something like that." Okay, now for some important facts to point out in regards to what the police think. So Julie actually has an entire podcast on her sister's case, and in it, she brings up some very interesting points.
Wow.
If you guys do want to check out her podcast for yourself, it is called Media Pressure. So in the podcast, Julie says early police reports led her to believe that Maura's dorm room was almost completely packed up the day that she left and disappeared, indicating that she was not planning on returning. But almost 2 decades later, Julie began to theorize that Maura wasn't even unpacked yet after moving into that room only 12 days earlier. So, like, she just had moved in, and that's why things were kind of, like, packed up, not because she was planning on leaving it for good. So, as I mentioned before, the police had suspicions that Maura had taken her own life, but Julie had reason to believe that that was not the case. She pointed out multiple instances that Maura never had any intention of doing so or trying to disappear. Remember, she had turned in a homework assignment that morning, and you know that she had called that condominium. I guess she was inquiring about renting that space that her family had previously used to vacation in. And apparently she also called an information line about booking hotels in Vermont. And then I guess Maura had picked up several important forms that needed to be filled out, including accident papers for her father's car, indicating that she was planning on seeing him to give him the papers. She also had papers in the car to reinstate her license after being pulled over for excessive speeding. Now, I'm not sure what these could mean, but I have 2 interesting pieces of information in addition to things with Maura. So, according to the police report, Maura's car had struck a tree. But Julie said that a private analysis by a vehicle reconstructionist revealed something else. She said, quote, "The damage wasn't consistent with hitting a tree, as stated in the police report, and the car was drivable. Based on the specialist's analysis, the front driver's side damage did not match that of a tree. The hood was pushed back and buckled in the middle, causing the radiator support to bend. The two recorded events must have happened when the vehicle was moving forward under its own propulsion. So the car was moving, meaning the damage did not occur while she was parked or stopped." So, I don't know what that could mean. I don't know why the police would, like,
Just
assume that she hit a tree. Like, because you'd think also, like, they would, if they put that down, that means they, like, investigated the scene and found, like, a tree. Like, you'd think there'd be a tree with damage on it.
Right.
Nearby, you know?
Because that could also be, like, one of those, like, those highway sticks. You know, the side...
like a post?
The side rail... The guardrail. The guardrail posts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she could have easily hit one of those, too.
Right. It was just interesting. Just wanted to point it out.
Is that rain or is that the AC?
I think it's the AC.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's loud.
It sounds like it's raining.
I mean, it could also be raining. Okay, so the second piece of information I have for you is most interesting to me.
Okay.
There was a random Chrysler part that had been found in Maura's car. This was noteworthy because a, quote, "suspicious person driving a white Jeep Grand Cherokee 7 miles from the accident site fled the scene when police arrived." And Chrysler manufactures Jeep, and there was a white scuff mark on the rear bumper of Maura's car.
Sort of like someone could have pushed her.
Yeah, but then why is there, like, a piece of their car in her car? Like it's like a part.
Like in it.
Yeah, it was, like, inside Maura's car.
It is weird.
It is very odd. Like, I would get it if it was, like, a hit and run. That would make sense.
Right, but why is the piece in the car?
That's, like, the most confusing part to me. It's very interesting. So, Maura is still, unfortunately, missing to this day. There are basically no suspects or leads. Julie says there is a man that could possibly be implicated in her murder. He lives about 1 mile from where Maura's car was found, and I guess his brother found a knife in his glove box. For some reason, he believed the knife was linked to Maura's disappearance, and he actually gave this knife to Maura's father. Julie said they had the knife tested for Maura's DNA, but did not share if the results were conclusive. I'm presuming they were not. Julie also said that the man in question refused to take a polygraph test.
Which is also...
It's always, like, sketchy, but I get it. But then also that can never be used, like, in court anyways. So if, like, you have nothing to hide, why would you... Unless, I don't know, some people out there are just really...
weird and...
like, stubborn and, like, headstrong. And they're like, I don't need to take no test. I didn't do anything, you know?
Right. But that's also, like...
It's still sketchy.
It's a very,
it's
like...
always gonna be.
It's always going to be a very loose admission of guilt to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Very, very loose, but totally, like, obvious. Like...
Right.
Then just clear your fucking name, dude.
Yeah.
If you know you're clean, your hands are clean...
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, weirdo?
It is very weird. So, Julie does greatly believe the police are to blame for her sister not being found. She said She said they broke protocols and were just incompetent. They did not do enough to connect with potential informants in the case, like the owner of the condo that Maura called in New Hampshire. And then there was a classmate that Maura spoke with on Instant Messenger a few days before she disappeared. And Julie said that the police also never followed up with that handwritten note that was found in Maura's car with the address and phone number on it. How would they not do anything with that information? Are you kidding me?
They're lazy. They're fucking lazies.
Yeah. It's insane.
Unless... wait.
Okay. Well, Julie did actually reach out to the person of this information, and that person said this is the first she has ever heard of her information being found inside a high-profile missing woman's car. And apparently this woman did own a car 25 miles from the accident site. I don't know what the significance is, but that's all that she could really get from it.
No.
But, like, what the hell? Police? What the hell?
You know why?
Why? Did they have something to do with it?
They're in it.
That's so weird,
I feel like
though.
they're in it. I feel like, you know, she was just unfortunately
because that is, like, unusually fast for them to get on the scene in 4 minutes. It's not like she was, like, had life-threatening injuries.
Yeah, no.
You know, like, why were they going so fast to get to her? It was just, like, an accident.
A drunk off-duty officer with very high power got in trouble because he crashed into her, and he was intoxicated. And so was she, and he just found it easier to cover it up, and he knew his...
So he, like, hid? Because there was 2 people that saw the crash. Like, the bus driver talked to her, and she was by herself.
But was it really her?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure they showed, like...
Or was it a spirit?
Babe, oh my... I mean, maybe, but...
Like, what if it was her spirit because she had already passed, but it was, like...
That would be very quick. I don't know. That's pushing it a little bit, but I guess you can't rule out anything.
Or maybe even if it is let's say it was the police officer and they crashed and he was just like an off-duty police officer and he like told the bus driver like, hey, we're good. Like, I'll take care of this. It was my, you know, I'll take care of this.
You don't think the bus driver would have mentioned that?
Maybe he got tipped off.
What, you mean paid off?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe he was just a part of it, you know, like
I don't know.
Maybe that was like a cousin of the police officer, and then like they were like, dude, no. Oh, John. Oh shit, John. Hey, what's up? Oh, you killed someone, dude. I'll cover for you, dude.
You're creating a whole narrative here.
You just never know at this point, you know.
But
with respects to
yes, respects, yes
to the victim.
Lastly. Remember how I said that the state trooper and the bus driver looked around the area for Maura?
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently nobody ever searched that day that it happened in the direction that Maura was headed. They pretty much just looked like west.
Which is weird.
Like, I'm sure they searched eventually, but like the day it happened, nobody looked over there.
That's weird.
That's so weird. That is like your prime time. Like, if you're gonna find her alive, like, it is that day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, statistically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck? So it is believed by both police and Maura's family that foul play was involved in Maura's disappearance. And it is also widely believed and highly unlikely that Maura is still alive today. There have been no credible sightings, but there has also not been a body found at all. If she is still alive, Maura would be 42 years old today. She was last seen on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire, in a dark jacket and jeans. She has light brown hair and green/blue-green eyes. The FBI has made an age progression photo of what she would look like today, which I will post on our Instagram. Just, you know, see something, say something. It is still such a mystery what happened that day, and unfortunately, we'll probably never know the truth. But that was the story of Maura Murray.
Wow.
Somber claps. And I'm not going to say rest in peace, Maura, because
you never know.
It's always good to have hope.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, she just ran away.
But just in such, like, was she running from something?
She just ran away.
It's so weird. Because she didn't take literally anything with her, which definitely alludes to foul play, you know?
It could.
That someone just took her.
I mean, people also just leave sometimes just because they're just tired.
No, but she, like, packed a bag and everything.
I don't know.
It's a very big mystery.
I still think the police is behind it.
Okay. You are allowed to think that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But thank you, Raina, for that very sad story. But
very interesting. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, she's a missing person. Think about how many missing person cases there are out there.
And it's actually kind of like cool that her sister's just. I feel like I would do something like that. Mm-hmm. Like,
she's trying to get down to like the bottom of it. At least like solve it, even if she is gone.
Yeah, it's just also like, is it ever gonna be solved, and is she just gonna be stuck in this limbo kind of thing?
Yeah, it's sad, but I mean, at least it's something to honor that, like, her sister's memory.
Right. Yeah. And still trying, like, she's not just like accepting.
Just like letting it go, because I mean, you can't let something like that go.
Yeah. Because either like you grieve about it forever and just let it be, and you're just like, okay, like this happened, or you're just doing this, where it's like, I feel like it could be like someone can say like, oh, poor girl is still mourning and she's in denial, but it's like, no, she's probably right in doing this, and like trying to figure out what actually
the police
happened.
Didn't.
Yeah, what they're not like doing for her family.
Yeah.
Take matters into her own hands,
Yeah. Props to Julie, man.
Yeah, props, man.
Our condolences, and just all of the love and respect to your family.
Yeah, 100%.
That's today's episode.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But we will talk to you guys next week. If you want to send in your suggestions, we'll take them. We're always taking them.
All of them. All kinds.
Even if it's silly and funny, because we always need like weird, spooky, crimey, alien type things to talk about to like break things up.
Yeah, lighten up the mood a little bit.
Lighten the mood, please. Because I never know how to end these. I'm like, okay, well, sorry to bum you guys out. Bye,
Yeah.
But yeah, we love you guys.
You know what you're getting into anyways.
Yes, we appreciate all of your suggestions, no matter the type. And yeah, we're just like to make your guys' day a little more interesting.
Yeah, so thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We love you.
We see you. We hear you. We feel your spirit.
And until next time,
stay spooky. Okay, bye.
Bye.